Hi, so my name's Arrow. I go by they, them pronouns. I am 18 years old and non-binary, and on May 16th, 2018, I had a double mastectomy. I had top surgery, bilateral with nipple grafts, through GRS Montréal at the CMC clinic with Dr. Bensimon, covered by Ontario Health Insurance. I arrived in Montreal. We drove there, and I arrived there on Tuesday, May 15th, and I got checked into my room at the Gita Margot, which was covered as a part of my health insurance, and so I stayed there. It's a bed and breakfast, and I was able to be placed in an apartment where I stayed and I shared a bed with my mom, and then we were also staying with a couple who was also getting top surgery. Well, one of them was. Yeah.
It's about 5:45 a.m. on May 16th, 2017 or 2018, and today's my top surgery day. I'm leaving in a taxi to go to the hospital at 7:20. So I have like basically an hour and a half ish before I go to the hospital for top surgery. I'm at the park across from the Gita Margot, the place I'm staying. I'm just like, there's water, it's really nice, and there's like a park. So, I don't know, it still feels like it's not actually happening, and it's a little bit like, but it feels more like it's happening, and I'm a little terrified, and scared, but I'm also incredibly excited. Like, this is happening. Like, what? And just, I don't know. I just am like, whoa. I'm gonna imagine that I'm just like falling asleep, and then it's just like a magical thing happens, and then I have a flat chest. I'm smiling, but like I'm like screaming inside. And also, I don't know. I'm just a little overwhelmed, but like good feeling. I don't know. It's really beautiful here, and the people who we're staying with are really nice. Like 2 hours till top surgery. What? All right. See you post-op.
So what ended up happening when I got to the hospital, so I was supposed to take a taxi, but the taxi never got called, or I think it might have gotten called by the staff of Gita Margot, who were lovely. Oh, they were so lovely. I don't know what happened, but basically they were out of taxis, so we didn't have one, so we were kind of scrambling. And then my mom drove me, but we didn't really know where we were going, and we were rushing, and driving in Montreal is scary. So that was a thing. 3 things about Montreal. It was very beautiful, lots of beautiful architecture and stones. Everyone in this area of Montreal, I've heard that, like, you know, the whole thing of Montreal people are rude, which I have experienced in other parts of Montreal, but it's also generalization, so it's not true obviously for everyone. But like in this area around Laval, and I guess just the people who we talked to, everyone was super friendly and lovely, so that was a thing. And then the driving was bad, so it was beautiful, nice people, scary driving conditions, no parking. Also, but anyway, so we did find parking though. We drove to the hospital. It was a small little hospital, like clinic. It was a small little clinic, and we were able to find somewhere to park, and just like on the road, and they were doing construction stuff. But we found a spot, and yeah, and then so we got there. We did some paperwork. I met with a nurse who was lovely, and we did some work, like did like a little workup, and then did some more paperwork, waited. Then I got put in a room, and I got changed out of all of my clothes, everything, which was like, oh. And so then I did that, and then I was taken by myself to a room where I did a lot of waiting. And then I met with the anesthesiologist, who was so great. She was so funny and nice. During the time I was waiting by myself, I had also been joined by 2 other people having top surgery at the clinic. Like one person, and then he left, and that was the guy who I was also staying with. Then there was another guy who came later, and I left him. But there was a long time when I was alone too, and it's just kind of intimidating waiting this like random room by myself, but it was fine. And also during that time when I was waiting by myself, Dr. Bensimon came in, and we went into like a little examining room, and then I just like pulled down my robe to my waist, and I was worried about that because it's like just showing a stranger your chest, especially when you have like, it's like intimidating for anyone who like has stuff, but like especially if you're like trans or like you haven't really done that, it's like the but it was fine. He honestly treated my chest like it was an elbow or like my face. Like it was just like no big deal. And I guess, you know, it makes sense because it's what he does a lot. And he drew lines on me and kind of talked to me about what's happening. And then he was gone. And then I waited for a little while, and then I left and with the nurse, and I ended up going into the operating room. They ended up putting me down on a table. They had machines on my legs to, you know, circulate blood pressure, which was really interesting because we like squeeze one leg and then squeeze the other leg. And they like put my arms, kind of strapped them down, but it wasn't like scary the way that they did it. It was fine. And they put the IV into my one arm, and it was no worse than getting blood work done. Like it really wasn't bad. I was worried about it hurting. And then another nurse, whatever, was holding an oxygen mask on my face, like asked, like, okay, I'm gonna put this on, and then was kind of doing like almost like a breathing exercise thing with that, and kind of like, okay, now take a deep breath, now let it out, take a deep breath, let it out, breathe, and just really relaxing actually, to help calm me down a little bit. I when I was waiting, I was doing breathing exercises and singing musical songs. But that helped kind of with the anxiety. And anyway, so when I, not like waiting on the table, but like waiting beforehand. So then they were breathing, they were helping me breathe on the table. And then the other doctor was like, or the anesthesiologist was like, okay, I'm going to start putting the anesthetic in. And I want you to think of like something lovely, like a lovely dream. So I was thinking of just like, you know, it's just sitting on a hill in the sunshine and with like light breeze, and it was just really nice. Then I went under, and so I don't remember anything. And then I woke up feeling like a ton of energy. Like I think I had some adrenaline in my body. So I think a lot of people when they come out of surgery or anesthetic, they're like groggy. But I was so alert, and I was just like, oh, wow, I'm out of surgery. Whoa. And I'm like, hi, I'm awake. And then the nurse came over and I was like, hi, what does this part of the machine mean? What does that part of the machine mean? Wow, this is so interesting. I feel like I thought I would have been groggier. And then the person beside me who was in the room from when I left, was in like the waiting room when I left, who was getting top surgery, was beside me, was like, hey, is that Arrow? And I'm like, yeah, hope you do well. This is so interesting. And then I'm like, they wheeled me around. I'm like, wow, I love being wheeled. This is so interesting. I've never been wheeled around on a bed. It's fun. And like, I went back to the room with my mom, which was nice. And then apparently I was like talking nonstop for like 2 hours. So just about everything and asking questions, and just really like, I had a lot of energy and I just wanted to move, but like my top half didn't. But like my bottom, like my legs and stuff, like they just want to run. And I just wanted to think. I had so much energy. And then I kind of like, yeah. Okay, so got some ice. Got my bandages. Got my headphones and my little setup. I'm watching some Grey's Anatomy. It's about 6:11. I went into surgery at around 11 o'clock, and yeah, I ate some broth and had some tea with like a laxative called senna and mint and honey and lemon, and I made that last night and then just let it sit cold. It was really good. It tastes like mint lemonade. It was great. And then, yeah, I had some soup broth, vegetable broth, and crackers, a couple prunes. And yeah, I've been feeling really good. Barely feeling pain. It's just kind of like tight and a little uncomfortable. My throat hurts a bit, but yeah, the ice helps. Yeah, I'm feeling good. So that was May 16th, day 1 post-op of top surgery. And I will link videos describing the next couple days of recovery at the end. Yeah. All right. Have a good day. Bye.